Senator Moncion.
Senator Moncion, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Welcome, Minister. My question concerns your role as Minister responsible for the Northern Ontario Economic Development Agency. It concerns the Ring of Fire. The development of the Ring of Fire is subject to environmental assessment and regulatory processes and the Crown's obligation to consult. The Government of Ontario requires the federal government's support in order to realize the full potential of this project and to advance regional, environmental, and economic development of national significance. Could you please explain the financial and other support provided by the federal government to this project?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and the honourable member's right. I am also the Minister for FedNor, which my community likes to remind me of because this is a very important role that is of significance to Northern Ontario. The Ring of Fire, obviously, is a very important deposit. It's also in a very environmentally fragile place. And there are many First Nations that have a distinct interest and actually have treaty rights in that area. So it's delicate work, and it's important that we do it in partnership with the province of Ontario and, of course, the First Nations communities that are closest to the deposit. We now have a critical minerals strategy, or funding for a critical minerals strategy. That strategy will be announced shortly, and it will give some more detail about how we'll support not just the province of Ontario, but Indigenous peoples in areas where, like Ring of Fire, there is a significant interest, not just obviously nationally, but globally. We're going to have to be careful about how we do this, both from an environmental perspective, but also from the perspective of full inclusion of Indigenous peoples. There, in the Ring of Fire, there are some communities that are very, very favorable to opening up the region to mining, and there are other communities that are not so favorable. And all of those voices will be important in this work. It isn't quick work, it isn't easy work, but it is important work. And so FedNor will continue to be there to support the engagement process, for example, to support industry that's looking to develop those minerals. And I'll continue to be there with both my hats on to make sure it's done properly. Thank you.
Senator Dalphone.